Hello, and welcome to episode 38 of the Brick Clubhouse. I'm your host, Chris, and I want to thank our sponsor, Bricks and Minifigs San Diego North, for helping make all this possible. I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Evan. Hey, Evan, how's it going?
Hey, Chris. It's going good. How are you?
Good. It's that time of the week again where we get to discuss Lego and try not to be distracted by other things.
Which typically doesn't always happen.
No,
but we try.
It's been a night of distractions already, so we'll see how closely we can stay on topic.
Yeah, we'll give it our best shot.
Because, yeah, all we can do is try. That's all that people really want.
It's true.
Maybe they like the wanderings of topic that we do.
Maybe, but they come here for Lego.
Yeah. If you like the wanderings, you can let us know at brickclubhouse.com, where we have all our show notes, or on our socials, Brick Clubhouse. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. And we did post on Instagram this last weekend because you and I were out on the road together.
On the road again. Yeah.
And we happened to be in the Phoenix area and got to visit another Bricks and Minifigs store.
Yeah.
The Avondale store. It was my first time being there, and you as well.
It was also my first time. I don't find myself in Arizona very often. There was only one good reason
to go to Arizona.
And that's
do you want to tell the
reason
people
that we were
why
there.
we were in Arizona? I think we told them.
We mentioned it last time. Yeah, we were there for spring training. We went and saw our boys in blue. We saw the Dodgers. It was awesome.
It was super fun
I
weekend.
had a 5-minute conversation with Blake Snell, just going back and forth while he signed autographs.
And you almost got Mookie Betts' autograph.
We have a picture. We can put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
I was like...
He was right.
I was trying to get him... I got like a set of baseball cards when the Dodgers won the World Series of each of the players on the roster, and it said Dodgers like World Series champion, and I had a picture of them from the series. So I had Mookie Betts' card literally right in front of his face.
You just should have elbowed those kids in front of you out of the way.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, yeah, I had Mookie Betts' World Series champion card right in front of his face with a Sharpie, and he didn't sign it.
No.
We got 3 autographs.
Yeah, you did. I didn't get any, but I was off watching bullpens and that sort of thing while you were getting autographs.
We got to watch the same guys that you saw throw bullpens, throw flat ground and long toss and stuff. So
yeah,
I got to see him throw. But yeah, we got Michael Kopech's autograph. I also had a multi-minute conversation with him, which was cool. We also got Haesung Kim, our new second baseman, and Anthony Banda.
Oh yeah,
one of our relievers. So that was fun.
And now that you're buddies with all these guys, are you going to get us free tickets?
Yeah, dude. Now we're best friends. There was this one guy behind me who he was like, "Hey, you're closer to me. Can you try to get Blake to sign my ball?" Blake Snell. He's like, "You guys are friends now," and I'm like, "We're not friends. He didn't even sign my wife's ball." I was talking with him for 5 minutes, and he was like looking at me, like making eye contact and stuff. And Bailey had a ball out right in front of me, and he didn't even
But
sign
that's
it.
the best part of spring training.
Oh yeah, it was better than honestly.
Interacting directly with the players.
Yeah, I would have liked both, but getting to talk with him was better than the autograph.
It was super fun, hanging out, talking baseball all weekend.
Yucking ball, as John Boy Media says.
Yeah, we opened some baseball cards. We watched some baseball. We went to a few games.
We did.
And yeah, it was
got some autographs.
It was baseball all weekend and a visit to a Bricks and Minifigs.
Oh, dude, I forgot to tell you that I saw a video on Monday of somebody getting a Roki Sasaki autograph right where we were. And there's a video of her getting it signed, and then as she's getting it signed, this other kid is able just to walk right up to the fence and get it and ask him for one right there. It was almost empty on Monday. We need to go. So that's what I'm saying. We need to go during the week. It's crazy.
Next year, for those of you who want to be part of our travel plans, we'll hit up the weekend next year.
But yes, we went to a
weekdays.
Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah, Bricks and Minifigs. The reason I want to bring up that we went to a Bricks and Minifigs is one of these sets they had at this store. I have never seen new in box since my son got it as a Christmas gift, however many years ago. But they had a new in box black pearl.
They did.
And
the biggest find.
That was amazing to see.
And we got it. No.
You don't?
No. I wanted to.
We did get some Avondale minifigures that they gave us, which was super kind.
And I got some Batman minifigures.
Oh, you did get some Batman minifigures.
I did. I'm trying to get all the minifigures from the Batman sets.
The new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just need Joker and the regular Bruce Wayne now. So not Joker.
I'll let you know if they come in the store.
Yeah, Riddler. It's good Riddler.
But they just had some fun stuff there. It's always, if you're on the road and you're traveling and there's Bricks and Minifigs around that are different than the stores you normally go to, it's always fun to see all the different things. That's the fun thing about Bricks and Minifigs. They're all different.
Yeah.
Because everyone has different inventory, different use stuff. I didn't get it, but they had a Galaxy Explorer variant that I don't have. And for those
He showed restraint.
And for those that may not know, Galaxy Explorer, one of the original kind of space sets from the 70s, and there have been many variants along the way of different sizes, including the re-release they did for the 90th anniversary. And I think I have all of them, but this one, I don't know what it came from, but I didn't pick it up.
It was like in like a set of 4 other little builds.
Yeah, and I really didn't want the other builds.
No. It was fun.
It was great.
It was a good store. They also had like a mock builder there, building this giant mock, which was really cool. I guess they come in and build stuff every once in a while.
I wish we had more room for that in our store.
They had a party room too.
We'll have to think about that for the future.
Yeah.
But we also had some follow-up from one of our listeners about the art sets and the question was, why is the Mona Lisa so bad?
Why does it exist?
And so many of the other ones are so good.
Wait, do we mean like the real Mona Lisa or the Lego set?
No, the Lego Mona Lisa.
Because both. but we're talking about
we won't judge Leonardo's work, but we can judge Lego. I feel like that's more in our... And not judge it, but we can have an opinion on it.
For the adults out there, not the children, but for the adults out there, if you want to know my thoughts on the Mona Lisa, you can go listen to the song from Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping, by Andy Samberg and the Lonely Island called Mona Lisa.
Please don't go listen to that if you're...
Don't let your children listen to that song.
But that's nice to know that's how you feel about it.
Not fully.
It's a fine painting, and it's famous world around.
But just because something's famous doesn't mean it should have been famous.
No, but I'm just saying that it is.
I know it's famous.
And they made a Lego set of it.
They did. They did indeed do that.
I don't really like it.
No, the best part about that Lego set, as I mentioned last time, is that it has a lot of drum lacquered gold pieces.
It does.
That's it. So and you could get it on sale at Costco for a long time.
That's true. But why? So the question remains, why are some art sets successful? What makes a successful Lego art set?
Okay. The simple answer is make it good.
Thank you.
But the main ones that come to my mind as the bad ones are the Mona Lisa and the modern art set. Oh my gosh.
But you could make it whatever you wanted.
Who thought it was a good idea? No. This one, like Andy Warhol inspired. No. I think it's a different artist. They did an Andy Warhol one.
They did.
Which was the Marilyn Monroe one, right?
Yeah. Like the Campbell soup.
Yeah, that one was good. But they did a modern art one, and it was just bad. There was different options you could choose to make it your own, but it was supposed to be like abstract art.
Yeah, I think
so
they
really looked like nothing. Because see, the whole point is that a good art set is smart piece usage that makes these things look. You can take parts and make them look good from a distance. But this, when you do an abstract artwork, it doesn't look like anything but a giant glob of Lego pieces.
No, but I think you nailed on it. The most successful of the Lego art sets are the ones that use creative pieces in unexpected ways.
Yeah.
That create interesting texture, but that work. And from a distance, I can see a reflection of the Great Wave from here.
Yeah.
And
that one's great.
And you wouldn't know from across the room that it was even Lego.
I think it's also just different paintings and art sets need a certain type of artwork because they got to be the right scale. They got to be the right size. So the Great Wave works for the scale they chose because it's abstract enough to where you can use dots to resemble it. But when you're doing something like a face on the Mona Lisa, they would have needed way more studs and dots to make it that detailed enough to look good enough.
Even though it is pretty much like life size compared to what the painting is.
But my point is that like you can't be as precise as you can with a paintbrush. So
absolutely,
it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a 1-to-1 scale in terms of size. It just needs they would have needed to make the Lego set bigger in order to get that much detail. Is what I'm saying.
And I think I do think it all comes down to creative piece usage and using unexpected things to look real, even though they're not. And the Mona Lisa tried to look too real. And
I think also that the piece usage and just, again, the level of detail of the original piece you're trying to capture. So, like, for instance, like the Spider-Man art set works really well because you're just trying to capture a guy in a suit and, like, you don't need to get specific details of his face because you just need to do the mask, right? Whereas the Mona Lisa, you're trying to do a human face with studs,
and that's probably
doesn't work.
And ultimately, that's probably where it falls down. Is trying to be human instead of the more abstract.
Although it is interesting because they were able to do stuff like the Star Wars and Batman like art sets, and those worked.
But those were all dots,
right?
Like it was basically pointillism,
right? But it works.
But it worked.
Yeah, I love I have the Batman set.
But it was also like big enough that it felt
exactly the
like,
size was big enough, so the detail was there.
So, listener, that is our opinion on what makes a good art set and what doesn't. And we're sorry you also didn't like the Mona Lisa.
But hey, you mock builders out there, if you're looking for some drum lacquered gold pieces, you can find the Mona Lisa set on a big discount, and you will have some great pieces to add to your mock building.
I'm surprised we haven't got a used one in the store yet.
Yeah, just steal the frame and then sell the rest of it.
Somebody probably would. But anyway, we do have a...
It's like, me and Bailey are watching How I Met Your Mother right now, and there's an episode where Lily tries to sell her painting, and she finally sells it for $500, and she's all proud of herself, and they find out that the people bought it just because the frame was like a rare frame, so they threw her painting out and just kept the frame. That's exactly what you need to do with this Lego Mona Lisa set, is keep the frame and throw out the rest of it.
And yet another piece of pop culture that I have not watched.
It's okay, there's plenty that I haven't seen either.
Yes. But we do have a topic for tonight. And we are going to continue our discussion of CMF series. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, we did an episode about our favorite CMF figures from the non-licensed series.
Non-licensed.
Tonight, we're going to look at some of the licensed series and pick our favorites.
Yeah, so we each have 3 favorites we're going to go through, and once we choose a series, we're going to highlight our favorite figures from the series. But first...
I want to... We can't do these without rules.
Right.
And one of the rules, or one of the things that I want to propose, is that we take the Disney series off the board.
Yeah, so we decided this beforehand.
We'll talk about them, mostly because we would just fight over who got to pick them.
And because there's 3 of them... and we want to talk about all of them. So I think let's just talk about those now.
Yeah.
Let's do that first.
So let's start with
If
Disney.
you're asking Chris and I, both of us would say that our favorite CMF series, licensed CMF series, are the Disney series. Now, we're huge Disney fans. I'm going this weekend to Disneyland. Chris was there yesterday.
I was there yesterday.
We went together a month ago. So we're big Disney fans. Disney Series 1 is one of the most expensive and sought-after CMF series because it's been retired for 9 years now.
And we just got
popular.
A big restock of it.
We just got
store.
it sealed. So we have brand new Disney Series 1 in the store if you were looking for them. That was the one series that I was really hunting down when I came to work for the store.
Yeah.
And the day we got like the seal, our first sealed box was like Christmas morning. But Disney Series 1, Disney Series 2, and then they did a series for Disney 100. All of these series consist of 18 figures. All of them are pretty fantastic.
They are. Some of my favorite all-time figures are in these series.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you want to say your favorite 2 from each series? So we'll go back and forth. So you start with your favorite 2 from Series 1, and I'll say my favorite 2, and then we'll go back and forth.
Okay. Looking at Series 1, it's hard. There's just some classic characters in this that I probably should pick over what I'm going to pick. But I am going to take Peter Pan.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I really like the Peter Pan figure. One of my favorite Disney films.
Yeah.
And they just captured the essence of him so well. He's got great facial print and the dual molded legs, and he comes with his little daggers. I really like this figure.
He's a good one.
And yeah, we don't have to go into it. Everyone, I'm assuming, kind of knows what Peter Pan looks like.
Yeah.
He's got his green outfit. He's ready to fly. And I'm gonna pick Peter.
Second one?
Oh, we're not going back and forth?
No, we're doing 2.
Okay.
2 each.
Second one, again, another... I love the movie, and I probably, if I was a really Disney person, I should pick one of the classic characters.
Don't steal mine.
But I'm going to pick Buzz Lightyear.
Damn, I should have gone first.
Oh, I offered to let you take a pick.
Okay.
There's been a lot of variants of Buzz Lightyear that they've done.
This is the best one.
I agree. And the reason I like this one over some of the other ones is because he's got the kind of bubble helmet.
Mm-hmm. He has the minifigure head.
But the minifigure
That's the
head,
big one.
and he's got like the hood on the minifigure head, so his head's all purple, but you see just his face.
Yeah.
And the bubble top. He's got a great backpack, the jetpack with the wings. I really like this figure. He doesn't have any other accessories.
But he has
just
this
Buzz.
whole pack, everything. Yeah. I think he's my favorite figure in the series for sure.
So Buzz is my second pick.
Honestly, with all of that, I'm still gonna have a hard time picking two. But I'll pick for my first one Captain Hook, the Captain Hook one. So every figure in this series, except Maleficent and Stitch, has a pair that kind of goes with it. Hook and Peter Pan are both in this series.
And Hook was on my short list too.
So the mold of Hook's hat, feather, and hair combo is just one of the best molded pieces in this series, or really any other one.
It's really good.
And he has a hook for his left hand instead of another hand. He has his sword as his accessory, and the printing and the dual molded legs just look great.
It's perfect.
It really is. And then I'm gonna go, I guess my personal favorite. I'll go with Alice. I really like the Alice figure. She has the Eat Me cookie and the Drink Me cup or bottle. Her molded hair piece is exclusive to her with her black bow on her hair. She's actually one of the more expensive figures in this series. And I love Alice in Wonderland, one of my favorite classics. And I'd say her. The other ones honorable shout-outs would be Aladdin. I also love the Genie in this series. They did a great job with Genie.
I want to give a shout-out.
Yeah.
You mentioned Alice, but the Cheshire Cat.
Cheshire Cat's a good one.
Is great.
I also do. I don't really care much for the character, but the Ariel minifigure in this series is phenomenal. The molded tail, I think, is the first use of that mermaid tail.
Yeah.
And her hair piece is amazing.
And it's got great accessory, the little shell with the jewel in it.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out, like, this is how to get the classic Minnie, Mickey, Donald, Daisy. This is where they're at if you want to get them.
Yeah, it's a great series.
A lot of people love this. The one that always sells out first, though, is Stitch.
Yes, Stitch is the most popular one.
We've talked about way too many of these figures, even though we said
we're going to move to Series 2, and I'll start with my favorites this time. I'm going to do a 2-for-1.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm cheating, but I'm doing a 2-for-1.
I would have left this for you.
Yeah,
but
it's a 2-for-1, and then I'll say a second one. So Chip and Dale. So there's a Chip figure and a Dale figure. These are the figures that I bought on the first day I ever came to Brixie Minifigs and met you, Chris.
Oh.
I'd been looking for them for a while, and that day was the day. So Chip and Dale are my all-time favorite Disney characters. For those of you that don't know, they're my biggest Disney pin collection, and I've loved them my whole life. They're my boys, and I was very glad that they made them into minifigures. Actually, they made them into minifigures twice. They also have the conductor Chip and Dale from the Disney Train and Station set, which I also have.
I love that set, too.
So Chip and Dale will be my first. And then my second for this series, there aren't as many that stand out to me, honestly. I do like Series 1 overall more. Just because I know you won't say, I'll go with Hercules.
Okay.
The Hercules figure is awesome. The printed shield, they did a really good job of. It has like his logo on it. His hairpiece is great. He has like a cloth blue cape. His prints on his chest and legs are awesome. They did a really good job with this minifigure. And he pairs with Hades, who they also did a good job with. And yeah, my wife loves Hercules. I think it's a great movie too. But I'll go with Hercules.
Never saw it. All right.
It's very good. Danny DeVito? Come on.
Picking from this series is a lot harder for me. Mostly because, like in Series 1, there's just some of my all-time favorites. You have your Chip and Dale in this series. I'm also going to do a 2-for-1. And I'm going to go with the vintage Mickey and Minnie from Steamboat Willie.
Good choice.
Because it's where it all started. And I think it's fun that they did black and white versions of these and enjoy those. I'm going to go with Steamboat Willie, Mickey, and Minnie with my first pick.
Good pick.
And for my second pick, I'm torn. I know what the people would pick.
Don't pick Jack and Sally.
That's what the people would pick.
No, if we're going for the most popular ones, it's Jack and Sally in this series.
Yeah, up until this last year when the Nightmare Before Christmas set came out, this was the only way to get Jack and Sally.
And they're still exclusive versions. They updated them for the set.
And actually, for a Jack minifigure, this one's pretty great.
This one's great. The only better part of the new one is the long legs.
The long legs.
Yeah.
But it's great printing. They
Sally?
they did the shoulder piece for Jack,
Yeah.
so he's got that
And
coming
they did
off.
dual molded arms for Sally with different colors on each arm.
Right,
Like they
so
did,
it looks
and
stitched.
legs. So
Like
they
they
did a great
really
job.
went all out on these.
Yeah.
So I should pick those.
But it's your favorite, not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do a 3-for-1
Oh
with
my
Huey,
God,
Dewey, and Louie.
Bro, you're cheating all over the place.
I
man.
know.
Yeah. I mean, they're the same
because-
figure except for the color hats.
And that's why I think they go together. They all have
And the
individual accessories. But I think Huey, Dewey, and Louie are fun. I've always been a fan of Donald, and I think the cartoons of him and his nephews are very entertaining and very funny. I didn't pick Scrooge McDuck to go along with them, but that's okay.
Yeah, Huey, he has like their little book, like their printed book as his accessory, and I think he's the one that there's only one of in each box.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
He's hard to come by.
Or no, two of. He's like the only character there's only two of. Yeah, my next ones on the list were Elsa and Anna. They did a good job with those figures, and I love Frozen, and the prints are awesome.
Yeah, that's the highlights of Series 2.
Okay, now here's Disney 100. Here's the series where Chris and I would fight over the top picks. So we're just going to get them out of the way. Chris and I's top pick are Robin Hood and Little John.
Yeah, I even cheated the first time and picked Robin Hood in my honorable mentions when we were talking about non-licensed because I love this figure so much.
Yeah, so Robin Hood and Little John. Robin Hood is one of our favorite classic Disney movies. So we're going to pick them together. They each got their own perfect molded head.
They really are great figures.
Oh, they're awesome. The prints are great. The Prince John little shoulder cloth piece is awesome. Yeah, Little John has his not Little John. Prince John has his coin in his bag as his accessory, and Robin Hood has a feather in his hat and a bow, as you would expect. And they're awesome.
Thank you for just taking them off the board because I was wondering which one of us would pick them.
Let's just get those out of the way. And there's enough good ones that we can each pick two other ones.
So you go ahead and pick your next one then.
Oh, okay.
Because I think we'll be different after those.
Oh, after that.
If you're not ready, I know what my
no,
next
I'll
pick
go.
is.
I'll go Stitch 626. They did a great job with this figure. Same Stitch head, I'm pretty sure, as the first series. But new print on his torso and legs in his 626 design from the beginning of the movie. But what they did really cool is they introduced... Actually, no, they might have already had it in the Ninjago figures.
Yeah, there's other...
But
this was a great use of it.
They gave him the double arms. So he has a total of 4 arms. And he has 2 yellow blasters, which are awesome. And, yeah, they just did a great job with this figure. So 626 Stitch. Then the other one, I know you're going to go with this one, so I'm not going to choose that one. I'll go with... Oh, man, that's hard. Let's see.
It's a difficult choice.
You know what? I'm going to go with Ernesto de la Cruz. I'm doing a half. It's not my favorite. I'm going with the best quality figure angle on this one because it's not my next favorite. But the Ernesto one, the printing detail, they just went all out. They gave him his guitar with the accurate printing with a skull on the top of it and on the body. It looks great. They gave him his giant sombrero with really awesome printing around the edge and on the top. And then his torso and back and arm printing and leg printing. The whole thing. They just went all out on that figure.
And this figure is really popular.
It just looks fantastic. So, again, not my favorite one. But I just wanted to highlight that one.
I'm curious if I really am going to pick what you thought I would pick.
Yeah.
With my first pick, I'm going to go with Sorcerer Mickey.
That's exactly the one I thought you were gonna pick, yeah.
I love Fantasia. I think, and this part of it is super fun. It's just a fun figure. He's got his broom and bucket as accessories, and the printing is really good, and the mold with the sorcerer helmet, or sorcerer helmet? Is it a helmet or just a hat?
It's just a hat.
It's just a hat. I'm going to go with Sorcerer Mickey for my first pick.
And the second pick is going to go with Oswald.
He is going to go with Oswald. You are correct. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. A lot of people don't realize it's like the precursor to Mickey. Mm-hmm. But another character that Walt made in his early animation days. This is what I do like about the Disney series, is they always pick a few random characters that you wouldn't expect necessarily.
Yeah.
And Oswald's one of those characters.
We need Merlin in the next series.
But
that's a different episode.
It's a whole different...
Merlin and Arthur. Or actually, they'll probably do Merlin and Mim, which I'm fine with too. But
but yes, that's a whole different discussion of what should
whole
be
18 figure
in Series 4. A few others that I really like, again, in that like random characters that they did Baymax.
Yeah, not random. Baymax is crazy popular.
I know, but I don't know. If you're narrowing it down, and I do think for 100 they tried to get a good mix of old and new.
I think Baymax was a home run.
I love the Baymax figure.
The execution is interesting. They gave him like these new arm pieces that look accurate, but he doesn't have the tummy.
No.
But he looks like Baymax.
He totally does, and he comes with his little hover sled.
I also love the little Jiminy and Pinocchio figures.
That was the next one I wanted to call out. Again, Pinocchio, not exactly one of my favorite movies of all time, but the character's great. And the Jiminy Cricket character and minifigure I really like. So
they also made the Queen of Hearts to pair with Alice from Series 1. And I also want to mention the Tiana and Dr. Facilier figures are both fantastic.
They are. So. All right. So Disney is off the board.
Wow, that was just Disney. Okay, we need to speed it up a little bit.
I think the other ones will go faster because we won't.
It's not 3 series.
We won't have. I don't think our opinions will be as strong as they were for those.
Yeah, as you can tell, Disney is near and dear to our hearts, and we actually currently have recently gotten a sealed box of all 3 of those series.
Yep.
So we should have all of those figures available in the store if you hurry.
Yep, if you hurry.
You going first? Me going first?
You go first.
Okay. So for my other actual series now that we're going to pick, I'm going to go ahead and start out with the DC superhero series.
Good choice.
So I'm a big DC fan. For those of you that have listened to the podcast for any number of times, you might know that. Batman is my all-time favorite superhero, and this is a series dedicated to DC characters. So just some highlights real quick. I love the Aquaman figure. He has like the hook as his hand. He looks like he's like from the Justice League like animated show, which me and my brothers grew up watching, which is really fun. I also love the Batmite figure is cool, but the best part of the Batmite figure is his accessory is a printed tile of Detective Comics number 27.
That's so good.
Which is the first appearance of Batman, which is awesome. And speaking of first appearance Batman, the Batman in this series is the first appearance Batman, based off of Detective Comics number 27, which is confusing to me why they didn't give him the comic book accessory, but that's another conversation. But he looks great. Super pointed ears, classic cape. Just a great looking figure. They also have Jay Garrick Flash. They also have Sinestro, Power Girl, Superman, a great classic Wonder Woman figure. Just overall, a great series.
A great looking Superman figure.
Yeah, the Superman and the Wonder Woman are both fantastic.
And Stargirl. Yeah, I think this is just, it's like all the classics.
Oh, and sorry, the Green Lantern figure has a molded Green Lantern. That looks awesome.
Yeah, this is a great series. This would have been one that I probably picked had you not picked it. Good for you. I really like the series. A controversial opinion, I think they do in the CMF. We'll get there. But I think the DC CMFs are better than the Marvel CMFs.
Oh, absolutely.
There are some good Marvel CMF figures, don't get me wrong. But overall, I think DC wins.
See, the thing is that DC has better characters to choose from, so they made better figures.
It could be. And the fact that these were all based on
TV shows.
And
they were constrained to that.
Very good. I think you made a good pick there.
Cool. I appreciate the agreement and the approval.
I knew you would lose sleep without it.
Oh my gosh, so much.
That's all you want is my approval.
Yeah.
Okay, for my next series that I would like to highlight, this is a TV show I used to grow up watching as a kid. It's The Muppets. And the Muppet series came out a few years ago, and for the most part, they hit all the classic characters.
Yeah, they did a great job.
The Kermit and Miss Piggy are fantastic. Kermit has his banjo and a little rainbow because Rainbow Connection. Come on, what else are you going to give Kermit?
Yeah.
You want me to? I won't sing the song.
Nope.
Nobody wants that.
My favorite figures are Fozzie and the Swedish Chef.
Great. I also love Animal.
Yeah, with the drum set.
With the drum set. It's too bad they didn't do the whole band, but we just get Janice and Animal.
They'll probably make a second series if we're being honest.
Ralph, when I was younger, was one of my favorite Muppets, and I love that we got him. Beaker, Gonzo, they're all
Statler
so great.
And Waldorf.
The molds for the heads are great.
Job.
The accessories they used. I just love the series. They did such a good job. And I hope we do get a second series someday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's so many Muppets. They got to. They got to do the Eagle.
Oh, that would be Sam.
Yeah.
would be great. Like I said, we need the rest of the band.
That I'm naked under these feathers?
So I like the Muppets, and we don't have to belabor it because we could go through each one, but they're all really good. We'll put a link in the show notes if you're interested in seeing all of the Muppet figures.
Yeah.
In fact, there will be links for all these series.
Yes, there will.
Okay, you're up next.
My next one, similar vein, I'm going to go with the Looney Tunes series. I like the Muppets. I watched some of the show growing up. My mom would rent the videos from the library when people still did that. But the Looney Tunes are way more nostalgic for me, and I also like the characters much better. The Looney Tunes episodes we would watch growing up were very good memories that my brother and I still quote today. Some of the standouts, obviously Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, are great. The Roadrunner figure in this series is awesome. I think my favorite is actually maybe the Wile E. Coyote figure. Just a massive molded head. His ears are huge, his face is wide, and his nose is like all three directions. This mold is just massive. I also love the Sylvester figure with the bat trying to go after Tweety Bird. Marvin the Martian is great. I've almost named the whole series at this point.
I know. I love this series as well. Marvin is one of my favorites. Speedy Gonzales.
Yeah.
I also love that with the mold with his sombrero on. This is a really fun series. It definitely was on my short list.
It's great. I would love for them to do a second series of this with Foghorn Leghorn and Pepe Le Pew. And Elmer Fudd didn't make it.
There were a lot that didn't make it.
Yeah.
This is a great series. Yeah. Good pick. I know I just said that DC, their figures were better than the Marvel ones, but I am going to pick a Marvel series for my next series because Marvel Series 2 just, I think, has some incredible figures in it.
There's one figure alone from this series that makes it a great series.
There are a lot of figures. I know you're referring to Moon Knight.
Of course.
I'm guessing, which is maybe one of the best looking minifigures they've ever done.
Ever made.
The print, the cape, the hood, I mean, everything about this figure, they nailed it.
It's a perfect minifigure.
Yeah, they just completely nailed the character. But I think there's some other great ones too.
Mr. Knight is really good too.
I think Beast is fantastic with the blue hairpiece that they give him. And I'm a sucker for the X-Men. I just love the X-Men. And Beast also has a little coffee cup with the X logo on it and his microscope so he can be doing his research as to why the mutants are the way they are. I also, going along with my love of the X-Men, the Storm figure, she just looks so good.
The Storm figure.
The cape that they give her that kind of goes around her wrists and back around behind her just looks really good, and she's got that white mohawk. It's not really a mohawk, but it's like her hair flowing up. They gave her like the shoulder armor. It's just great. And again, X-Men, and the Wolverine figure is the classic yellow Wolverine from the comic books with arm printing, and we get a couple great faces for him.
And a Sentinel head.
And a Sentinel head comes with it. I love that. And that's really, I think, why I do love this series is for the X-Men characters we get.
They're pretty great. For me, it's Mr. Knight and Moon Knight, obviously, that we covered. But
yeah,
I also do love the Kate Bishop figure with the one-eyed pizza dog.
I was going to say the Kate Bishop and Hawkeye figure are good as well. And it does give you Agatha, if you were a fan of that TV show.
And WandaVision, yeah.
And WandaVision.
Because this came out before.
Yeah, which I really did like.
And you got to love Catherine Hahn.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good pick. Definitely a solid pick.
Yep, so I'm going to go with Marvel Series 2.
My last one, I'm going to go with Harry Potter Series 2. They've done 2 Harry Potter series. Now, objectively speaking, the figures in the first series might be better. They're pretty good. But this is near and dear to my heart because this is actually the first CMF series that I collected ever. I think I've said before in the podcast that it was Lego Harry Potter, actually, that brought me into the hobby when I was in college, rereading all the books, and had a huge Harry Potter phase. And I went around to the Lego store and to Target with friends. They were in the chase with me. They were pulling for me. And I eventually got every figure in this series. And then they got stolen from me.
Oh.
From one of the dorms when I was working there as a resident director. eventually, someday, I will get this series of figures back in my possession. But I still have the figures, and I love Harry Potter, so I had to mention one of the Harry Potter series. Some of the standout figures for me in this series would have to be the Weasley twins in their beanies from A Goblet of Fire. Actually, no, it's from the third one, I think. Because one of them, the reason why I'm mentioning them specifically is that one of them has the Marauder's map accessory, which is really awesome. But the other Weasley does have an accessory of them selling things and placing bets from the fourth one. I think they're combined, third and fourth.
There you go.
I also love the Dumbledore figure is great. Best part about him is that he has the little molded fox with him as his accessory, and fox is my favorite magical creature, so that's a plus for me. The Kingsley figure, the Moni Myrtle figure, but then also the Luna Lovegood with her lion's head costume mold.
I think that's really one of the standouts here.
It's so good. A lot of these figures, they're based off of various movies from the series, but the Luna, the Harry, the Ron, and the Hermione are all based off of the sixth one, which is cool because you don't get much love for the later ones. And then lastly, I want to mention the Lily and James figures are great.
I like those too.
Yeah.
Because one of the only ways to get those is here, isn't it?
This is the only way to get Lily and James minifigures. Yep.
Yeah.
They're not in any of the sets.
No, I think this is good. Yeah, I have... The Harry Potter ones are interesting to me because I am a huge Harry Potter fan and like a lot of the sets, but I haven't collected a lot of the minifigures.
There's some good ones.
And there are. I probably, if it had been my pick, I probably would have picked the first series just because I really like the Cedric Diggory Hufflepuff.
Harry Potter with the invisibility cloak.
And that's the other one I was going to mention. But the Goblet of Fire Triwizard Tournament, Cedric.
Also, the Luna with her Spectre specs printed on her face is a great one.
Good pick. Yeah, the Harry Potter sets are great, and I'm glad they're still doing Harry Potter sets. I, with my last pick, am going to revisit DC. And they've done a few different series for the Lego movies and Lego Batman. And I'm specifically going to pick Lego Batman Movie Series 2.
Nice.
Because there's just some of my favorite characters in here. One, we get some of the Superman characters that we really don't get other places. We get Jor-El and we get General Zod in more of their 1978 Superman movie theme instead of the Man of Steel Snyder universe. I really like those older versions of those characters. Plus, we just get a ton of really fun Batman variants. We get Swimsuit Batman and Mermaid Batman and all the different characters on vacation. We get Vacation Joker and Vacation Robin and Batgirl. And
Dr. Phosphorus, which I just learned tonight. He's in this series.
Which is funny that you didn't know that. Although, I don't really know that I paid much attention to who Dr. Phosphorus was until Creature Commandos.
No.
Yeah.
And I think that this series, I don't know if we ever got a sealed box of this in while I was working here. We didn't, actually. I remember we didn't. Cause I had to get Mermaid Batman from Carlsbad.
Yeah, we did when we first opened.
Yeah.
But they sold pretty quick.
And not since then. So I never got to open up a box. And yeah, Phosphorus, I've never seen that figure. But we were sad about the fact that they're not going to make Lego for Creature Commandos because it's like a really rated R show. But there is a Dr. Phosphorus figure. So I'm stoked about that.
And I also have to call out the Wonder Twins.
Yeah.
Jaina and Zan. We don't have to... We did talk about them when we did the last CMFs because I...
Cheated twice.
I broke the rules then, as I continue to do when we record these things. I notice how I'm the one that likes to set the rules, and then I break the rules.
To break them.
The Wonder Twins, I loved them as a kid in Super Friends. The fact that they made it into this series makes me laugh. This has a lot of my childhood favorites in it. So that's why I went with that series for my last pick. Before we move on, though, I think maybe we should just call out some of the other series that we've talked about in depth, some of them already.
Yeah.
Like the D&D series is great. See earlier episode where we talked about that.
The Lego Movie Series 2 is a great one.
I think the real standout of that is that's where you can get the Wizard of Oz figures.
But I also love the giraffe and the watermelon.
Oh yeah,
and
those
the
are
purple
fun.
crayon is really fun. There's some other ones too. The Simpsons series, there's 2 of them. People love those ones.
Yeah, I'm not a Simpsons guy, so
Neither am I, but they're really good figures.
they are, and they're very popular. And yeah, Lego's done a bunch of different of these licenses, and we're going to get in May. We're getting yet another license series of the F1 minifigures. Kind of. We'll discuss that when they actually come. We're supposed to get another licensed one in September. There'll be more licensed figures along the way for us to discuss. But it's nice that we rounded out our favorite CMFs, at least for now. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the store, shall we?
Let's do it.
We have a special event coming up on March 15th for St. Patrick's Day. Now, I realize St. Patrick's Day is actually March 17th, but we're going to be celebrating it. We'll have some fun games and stuff in the store and specials. We'd love for you to swing by on that day and have some fun. As we've said in the last episode, throughout the whole month of March, we're doing specials for our podcast listeners. We actually have a special code word for you out there in podcast land. If you come in and give us the phrase Mermaid Batman, since he was one of the minifigures in one of my favorite series, if you mention the phrase Mermaid Batman, you get a free large cup of bulk.
Hey, there you go. Mermaid Batman.
Yep, you don't have to do anything but come in and
just whisper it super seductively into his ear.
Or Sterling's.
Sterling.
Because I think Sterling might enjoy it more than I would.
He might not know the reference, but he'll like it.
We'll make him listen.
Don't tell anybody else. Don't tell any of the other employees. So
Yeah,
just come in, Mermaid Batman. Okay.
No. Mention the phrase, and we would love to give you a large cup of bulk just for being an awesome listener. We'd also like it if you would help out the show by giving us a rating or review wherever you get your podcast. It would be super awesome if you gave us thumbs up or 5 stars, all the things that you can do on the different platforms, Apple and Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, all the places.
All of the places.
You can find us, and you can also find the show notes and photos from our adventure in Arizona and links to all of the series we talked about at brickclubhouse.com. And you can also find us on the socials at Brick Clubhouse on Facebook and Instagram.
We're on the gram. We're cool.
Yeah.
Even though no one calls it the gram.
We'd love for you to tell us what your favorite CMF licensed minifig or series is in the comments about this episode. I think that closes up this episode of the Clubhouse. Say goodbye, Evan.
Goodbye, Chris.